You are the love of my life. You are the hope that I cling to. You mean more than this world to me. I wouldn't trade you for silver or gold. I wouldn't trade you for riches untold. You are my everything. You are the love of my life. You are the hope that I cling to. You mean more than this world to me. I wouldn't trade you for silver or gold. I wouldn't trade you for riches untold. You are my everything. I wouldn't take one step without you. I could never go on. I wouldn't live one day without you. I don't have the strength to make it on my own. You are the love of my life, Jesus. You are the hope that I cling to. You mean more than this world to me. I wouldn't trade you for silver or gold. I wouldn't trade you for riches untold. You are my everything. Until the world stops turning, until the stars fade from the sky, until the sun stops striving, I need you in my life, and here's a reason why. You are the love of my life. You are the hope that I cling to. You mean more than this world to me. I wouldn't trade you for silver or gold. I wouldn't trade you for riches untold. You are my everything. Jesus, you are my everything.
And good morning once again, my brothers and sisters. Here we are for another Living Hope Today study. Today we find ourselves in 1 Chronicles 24. And this section of Chronicles is really about the temple. And the temple isn't even built yet, But David has learned. King David says, look, everything by the book from here on out. We're going to do what we need to do according to what God instructs us to do. Right? He had that disastrous event in chapter 21, and he has been strict about keeping things the way they were prescribed to be by the Lord himself. So today we're going to see a bunch of names again. We're going to talk about some of them, but you can research more if you choose. In the end, we start here in 1 Chronicles 24. These were the divisions of the sons of Aaron. The sons of Aaron were Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. But Nadab and Abihu, or Abihu maybe I should say, they died before their father did. You remember, I think it's Leviticus 10, Numbers 3, might even be Numbers 26, but don't quote me on that one, where this is described. They offer unauthorized fire, and the presence of the Lord is so great, fire comes out and consumes them. They were called to be priests, but they would not do what God had called them to do. They decided to worship God by going in their own way, and that's when God struck them down. So they don't have any sons. So what does that mean? Well, that means that there's only 2 sons of Aaron left to conduct the priesthood duties, Eleazar and Ithamar. They served as priests. Okay? In other words, what are we doing here? We're being set up to see the lineage of the priesthood. With the help of Zadok, a descendant of Eleazar, and Ahimelech, a descendant of Ithamar. So now notice how the chronicler now starts taking us through the genealogy. David separated them into divisions for their appointed order of ministering. There's a system. There's organization. There's a certain way things are going to be done. A larger number of leaders were found among Eleazar's descendants than among Ithamar's, and they were divided accordingly. 16 heads of families from Eleazar's descendants and 8 heads of families from Ithamar's descendants. So, again, the chronicler wants to make sure we understand how the divisions occur. They divided them impartially by drawing lots. Okay, so a lot gets drawn, and that's how it gets determined which of the priests would be serving at what time. So, for there were officials of the sanctuary and officials of God. So we assume that the officials of the sanctuary are those that are taking care of all the elements of sacrifice, preparing everything that needs to be done, washing the basins, all that sort of thing. The officials of God are those who are actually doing the sacrifices, although all of these people are serving God according to what he's prescribed. They were all among the descendants of both Eleazar and Ithamar. Again, the chronicler wants us to be sure we understand that this isn't just a random selection of people. The scribe Shemaiah, son of Nethanel, a Levite, again, the priesthood, recorded their names in the presence of the king and of the officials. Zadok the priest, Ahimelech son of Abiathar, and the heads of families of the priests and of the Levites, one family being taken from Eleazar and then one from Ithamar. So we're told how the selection process worked. The first lot fell to Jehoiarib, help me God with these names, the second to Jediah, the third to Harim, the fourth to Seorim, the fifth to Malchijah, the sixth to Mijah. I wonder who these guys really are. You know, the Bible doesn't always elaborate on these guys beyond their one mention in Scripture. We really have no clue as to who they were in terms of the other things they did in their lives. The seventh to Hakaz, and the eighth to Abijah, the ninth to Jeshua, the 10th to Shechaniah, the 11th to Eliashib, the 12th to Jachim. So we're just talking about lots. But I want you to see one thing. You see in verse 10, Abijah is mentioned as one who's selected in the 8th round. Well, let's fast forward to the New Testament. Do you remember when the angel is dealing with Zechariah the priest, announcing the birth of John the Baptist, that Zechariah and Elizabeth are going to have a son? In the time of Herod, king of Judea, this is from Luke 1, there was a priest named Zechariah who belonged to the priestly division of Abijah. Oh, there we see him in 1 Chronicles 24. Now we see that name again in the New Testament, Luke 1. These lines were traced for centuries. All right, but Zechariah has the right to serve as a priest because his lineage comes through Abijah, and he's in Abijah's division. All right, and do you remember that he goes into the temple to serve because the lot fell to him? So we see these things being practiced over hundreds and hundreds of years. Again, Luke 1, where the angel's ready to tell Zechariah about the birth of John the Baptist. The 13th to Huppah, the 14th to Jeshebeab. So now we're just talking about the lots and the castings again. The 15th to Bilgah, the 16th to Immer, the 17th to Hezir, the 18th to Hapizez, the 19th to Pethahiah, the 20th to Jehezkel. Again, notice the detail and notice that God knows all these guys by name. There's no random part to this. It's all prescribed. The 21st to Jachin, the 22nd to Gamul, the 23rd to Deliah, and the 24th to Maaziah. This was their appointed order of ministering when they entered the temple of the Lord. And here's a line I think we should just pay attention to, according to the regulations prescribed for them. Again, what's happening? We are sticking to what the book tells us to do. We are not worshiping God out of our own ideas, what feels good to us, how we think it should be. We're going back to what God commanded way back in Exodus and Leviticus, and we're saying, God, that's what we want to do. We're going to do it like that. So they go according to the regulations prescribed for them by their forefathers Aaron, as the Lord, the God of Israel, had commanded him. Critically important for us to see their allegiance to what God has said. And it also means for us that as we walk with God day in and day out, it's critically important for us to look at what he wants. Remember what Jesus said, teach them, when he's talking about making disciples in Matthew 28, teach them to obey everything I've commanded. What does that mean? Well, it means that you and I have to understand what he's commanded. What does Jesus command us to do? But then we have to apply our lives to doing what he says. Remember Luke 6:46, why do you call me Lord, Lord, and you don't do what I say? Well, here we see in 1 Chronicles 24, these people are dedicated and diligent to do what God says, as should you and I be. And remember, our obedience doesn't earn us salvation. We're not trying to gain the favor of God. He already loves us. He came and died for us through Jesus Christ. Our obedience is a reflection of the transformed heart and the work of salvation he's done in our lives. Our obedience is the result of God's working his salvation in us. It's our way to say, we love you. And isn't that what Jesus said? If you love me, obey my commands. There it is. Submit to me if you love me. Do what I tell you. This is the goal of 1 Chronicles 24, to do what God wants. It should be our goal as well, every day, as we serve Jesus Christ. As for the rest of the descendants of Levi, from the sons of Aram, Shubael, from the sons of Shubael, Jedaiah. As for Rehabiah, from his sons, Ishiah was the first, and from the Izharites, Shelomoth, from the sons of Shelomoth, Jahath. What are we doing? We're just continuing to understand the lineage. The sons of Hebron, Jeriah the first, Amariah the second, Jahaziel the third, and Jekameam the fourth, the son of Uziel, Micah, from the sons of Micah, Shamir, the brother of Micah, Ishiah, From the sons of Ishiah, Zechariah. Again, who are these people? Some of them we know a little more about, others we know nothing about. The sons of Merari, Mali and Mushi, the son of Jaaziah, Beno, the son of Merari, from Jahaziah, Beno, Shoam, Zakur, and Ibri. From Mali, Eleazar, who had no sons. From Kish, the son of Kish, Jerahmeel. And the sons of Mushi, Mali, Eder, and Jeremoth. These were the Levites according to their families. Again, the text wants to make sure we understand the order. They also cast lots, just as their brothers, the descendants of Aaron, did, in the presence of King David and of Zadok, Ahimelech, and the heads of the families of the priests and of the Levites. The families of the oldest brother were treated the same as those of the youngest. And that's where chapter 24 ends. It's telling us what? There's a complete diligence when it comes to serving God according to his word. They're laser focused. And there's a lot of discipline to let us know who's in the line and how did it flow. Remember now, there hasn't been an exile yet. God hasn't sent the northern kingdom to the Assyrian Empire yet, because the northern kingdom hasn't even split off yet. That doesn't come till the death of Solomon, when Rehoboam takes over. Okay, well, that means that these orders survive the exiles. We see that the listings are continued all the way to, like we looked at, Luke 1, the tribe of Abiathar through his line. Zechariah is made the priest. Okay, this is crucially important to the lifeblood of worshiping God through the temple system and the sacrificial system that the Lord sets up. What's our calling in all this? Well, we can understand God's a God of order, structure. He's a God of intention. But we can also understand that their desire to do everything God said should be our desire as well. I pray God blesses you today, church. Serve him well.
Who is it who for sinners shed his blood, and now for cleansing all can plunge beneath that flood? It's Jesus. But do you know who he is? He's the image of the invisible God, and he's the brightness of his glory, the first, the last, the future, the past. He is God.